grooming themselves in a big ball. It is really such a sweet sighting to see these guys like this. They are. I know they're not the prettiest of cubs, and I know the mange has been a little bit tough on the Styx Pride, but when you see a ball of cubs like that, and everybody's kind of lying on top of the other ones, and they're all grooming each other, and it's just such a very cute sighting. And these little guys are being highly entertaining. Moms are completely passed out. They're having a bit of a grooming session actually as well, and so hopefully they're going to move in this direction with the little cubs, and we'll have them all together. But for now, these cubs are just looking far too cute to leave them. And the color and the light and everything this morning is just absolutely beautiful. Even the grass is a vivid color. Donna, you say it's great to see that the Styx Cubs are doing so well. I agree that the Styx Cubs are, they've had such a tough time as a pride, but given that the mange they do have a little bit, they actually are old enough now that I think they're going to overcome it. I don't think they're going to have too much of an issue, and the Styx have done really well to raise these up. The problem with the Styx Pride is they always tend to produce males. So if you look on the cub on the right, which is one of the older cubs, you can see the mane is starting already around the collar area there. So it's another male that they've got, which is not going to continue the bloodline really. So I don't know of the younger ones how many boys there are. I know that there's at least one. I'm not sure how many others there are, but they really do kind of struggle with producing females. For some reason, most of the cubs that the Styx Pride produces are boys, and that's why also what's been a difficult part for the Styx Pride and why they've struggled a little bit with the raising of cubs. Bettering the pride and growing the pride is that they tend to have a lot of boys rather than the Nkumas that tend to seem to be heavily weighted as females. But it's still nice to see them, and like I say, they do show signs of mange. They do look a little bit on the rough side, but with the weather that's going to change and the summer that's going to come, hopefully it will just help them get over it, and their immune systems will be able to compromise and to, well, not compromise, to be able to overcome, should I say, this situation, and that they'll start to look a lot better. The moms do already. The moms are starting to look a lot more healthy and a lot cleaner, and so I'm pretty sure that we'll have the same thing with these little Styx cubs eventually. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a situation where they'll start to groom themselves out, start to get rid of those mites, and they're going to look just fine in a few months. So, Mr. P in Canada, you're asking why do they all have mange? Well, it's all the Birmingham boys' fault, I'm afraid. So, all cats do carry mange naturally, small populations of it. Generally, it's kept under control by grooming and keeping themselves in healthy condition. Unfortunately, one of the Birmingham boys picked it up quite badly and got it very badly, and he then mated with the Nkuhuma Pride and the Styx Pride, which led to a situation where they picked it up. They then had cubs, and those cubs, because they were much younger and their immune systems are not quite as developed, the mite then overpopulates very quickly on cubs. Also, if you look at this as a prime example, the cubs spend all their time packed together, and so the mite is just jumping from one to another, and they basically cross-pollinating each other, if you want to call it that, and giving each other a lot of the parasite, and the parasite just absolutely thrives in conditions like this where they're able to touch one another and kind of move around. And then coupled with the drought that we had last year, the droughts last year would have meant that the mite really populated. There was very little moisture around. The lions, even though they were feeding quite well, were not getting the greatest amount of nutrition, and so their immune systems were compromised. They weren't fighting back very well, and the mite just overpopulated completely on both the females and the cubs. And we know that the Styx Pride lost all their cubs due to it, and they then carried it a little bit through the summer. The summer wasn't particularly wet. They then had these ones, and so that's been passed on to them, and now we've had another dry spell, and so the mite has come quite bad again, and it's then sort of repopulated, and why they're still grooming and scratching and have these calluses and scabs that they've got at the moment. Like I said, as soon as we go through a wetter phase, the mite will not populate them nearly as much. Also, as they grow older, they're no longer going to spend as much time always bundled together like they are now, and that's going to mean that hopefully they'll be able to groom that mite out, and going to have a situation where they're going to be a lot more sort of healthier and look a lot better. And we know that from the Nkuhuma Pride that those cubs had mange at one point. They were showing signs of it, but they've come right, and slowly but surely the fur will grow back and they will start to look better, and these guys will get better. They're of an age now where they've managed to sort of deal with the mite and for a while, and their bodies obviously are healthy enough that they can kind of utilize it and make sure that they are being able to survive from it. So as long as they keep getting food, as long as there's a bit of water, then everything will be alright. Now you can see that there's an adult lioness. She's the one with the newest cubs who's busy moving off through the thicket. You can see her teats there. She's still producing milk. So her cubs, I'm not 100% sure of how old they are or when they were first seen, but they are new. They are pretty much, as far as I understand, similar age to the Nkahuma Pride cubs, so still very small, and they're not with us as far as I can see. I don't see any sign of those tiny cubs, so she might drag this pride now south to where those cubs would be. As far as I understand it, the cubs are somewhere on little gari or vessels, so that is south of Djuma, and I'm not sure exactly where, but they are somewhere there. So she might drag the rest of the pride south now and towards her new little cubs. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. Hopefully she's going to settle down and we'll have a situation. There we go. That's good. Hopefully have a situation where we're going to see all of the pride spending the day here on Djuma, and we can get a lot of Styx time, because it's not a pride we get to see nearly as regularly as any of the others, and they really used to be a permanent fixture around this area. I remember often when I was at Chitwa, the Styx Pride being on Djuma and spending a lot of time around Twin Dams, Baboon Pan and those areas, and that's changed a little bit now. Now we've got a situation where they're very seldom here, and so it's nice to see them, nice to get to spend time with them, and nice to kind of just see how they're developing and monitor their progress. And you can see here comes the other older cub that's also walking in, so we'll complete the 6 of them once that one arrives, and so all 6 cubs are here and healthy and looking okay, which is really good news. Right, well, Styx Pride is still busy grooming, they're still busy doing their thing, so we're going to sit with them. We'll spend, like I say, quite a large majority of our morning with them and see how they go, and while we do that, let's go back to Jamie, and I wonder where she's gone from her jackal den.
Pretty much